What movie has the best soundtrack? Tarzan. They asked Phil Collins to do the soundtrack and he went way too hard. Previously released music Forrest Gump. New music specifically for the soundtrack performed by multiple artists William Shakespeare's Romeo Juliet. New music specifically for the soundtrack performed by a single artist Purple Rain. Classical music The Lord of the Rings. Unofficial unreleased soundtrack Queen and Highlander. And special consideration for Whatever the Hell Moulin Rouge is. How to Train Your Dragon. A Brother, Where Art Thou? Interstellar. Any of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So many motifs. Maybe not the best, but as a 90s kid I gotta rep that Romeo and Juliet soundtrack we all had and loved. Blues Brothers. Dazed and Confused. Garden State. Trainspotting. Shrek. Pulp Fiction. The Crow. The Wedding Singer. Tron Legacy. Movie was awful, but I actually watched it in theaters 3 times just for the Daft Punk soundtrack. The Twilight movies are some of the worst movies I've seen, but they have some amazing soundtracks. Drive. The Matrix music is still amazing. Really can't believe no one has said Dirty Dancing. I mean that soundtrack is absolutely iconic and exposed a new generations to legendary 60s Motown. Purple Rain. Heavy Metal. Interstellar, Harry Potter movies and Good Will Hunting. Indiana Jones. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Forrest Gump. Eurotrip. Anything John Williams has composed. Juno. Back to the Future. Singles. The Prince of Egypt. Kill Bill. The Lost Boys. Spirited Away by Far. Singles. Rocky IV. The Crow 1994. The Last of the Mohicans. The Social Network. That movie really became something special with Trent Reznor's soundtrack. Boogie Nights has a pretty amazing soundtrack. Pulp Fiction. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? The Big Lebowski. Blues Brothers. Guardians of the Galaxy. Pulp Fiction. Best non-original soundtrack, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The only thing that can compare is Vice City radio stations. If you asked original soundtrack, my answer would be different. Elfman, Zimmer, Williams, sure. But I defend Pulp Fiction. Trainspotting, Reservoir Dogs, Snatch, Almost Famous, and Kusturica movies can compete for runner-up and honorable mentions. Natural Born Killers or The Crow. Both done by Trent Reznor. Blade Runner. 500 Days of Summer. Across the Universe. Top Gun. Highlander. Eternal Sunshine, Requiem for a Dream. Wall-E. The Big Chill. Dark Knight Trilogy. Interstellar I feel has a community dedicated to the soundtrack alone. The Crow, Gone in 60 Seconds, Hackers, Kill Bill, The Saint, Halo 2, Go, The X-Files movie The First One, Romeo and Juliet, Guardians of the Galaxy, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Snatch, The Newest A Star is Born, The Neutron. Shows now have great soundtracks, like Last of Us and School Spirits. Disney's Hercules. The Muses go hard. I think an honorable mention should go to A Knight's Tale. Remember the Titans. Grease. The Crow. Peoples. I think we forgot about Grosse Pointe Blank. Jurassic Park or Star Wars. Both made by John Williams and are fucking great. Honorable mentions: How to Train Your Dragon. A Goofy Movie. Stand Out and Eye to Eye Slap pretty fucking hard. Forrest Gump. Gladiator. Ghibli Films, Growing Heart. Purple Rain or Marie Antoinette. La Bamba. Star Wars Episode V: The Empire Strikes Back. Moana. American Graffiti. 8 Mile soundtrack is super solid. Gone Girl right after Clockwork Orange. The Sad Girl Trilogy by Sofia Coppola. Virgin Suicides scored by Air. Lost in Translation. Marie Antoinette. Interstellar was awesome. Surely something from the 90s. Batman Forever. Can't Hardly Wait. Romeo Juliet. It was the golden age. Drive. Dazed and Confused. Edward Scissorhands. Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy. Prince of Egypt. Grosse Pointe Blank. Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. Slumdog Millionaire. Jai-Ho Bitches. I can't choose just one. A LOTR trilogy, Big Lebowski, Amelie may be my fave comfort film soundtracks that are amazing. Garden State, various Ghibli movies, various Tarantino films, various Wes Anderson flicks, etc., are also up there. Videocassette sparkles. Your Name, Kimi no Na wa. Running with Scissors. Death Proof. Lords of Dogtown. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Not a movie but a show. Peacemaker. The Long Kiss Goodnight. Sleepless in Seattle. Sucker Punch. Hackers is a solid compilation album. Fucking Interstellar. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm going to toss 3 into this ring. Arrival 2016. Moulin Rouge 2001. Close Encounters of the Third Kind 1977. And like a 50-way tie with 50 of John Williams' best scores.